everyone, Jack Powers here with another episode of Crime Reports. Tonight we're going to talk about this really strange circumstance where a 6-year-old boy went to school with a 9mm handgun and blasted the teacher. Can you imagine that? Let's talk about it a little bit, but first, if you would, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button, share it with somebody you know, whatever, help this channel grow. So let's get back to our story, because this is a good one. I mean, it's not good, but it's certainly something to look at and think about, because I think that it sends a message, some kind of a message that none of us want to see, hear, or look at, right? It's a message of desperation. It's a sign of how far things have gone awry. Who knows what the cause is, but you've got a 6-year-old boy, 6 years old. Think about that. Somehow he gets a loaded firearm from the house. Firearm belonged to one or both of his parents. He gets that gun.
She says she raised her hand in a defensive motion, and the boy pulled the trigger, sending a bullet through her hand and into her upper chest. Police say another staffer quickly subdued the boy.
Did nobody
Werner
see
sprang into action to help
that
the
a
rest of her class get to safety.
Was carrying a 9mm handgun?
To leave that class.
I mean, where did he have it? Did he have it tucked in his pants and in the back?
I mean, around.
This kid, obviously he had seen something and heard something about school shootings.
She get help for her wounds.
Bringing attention maybe to the person.
Investigators say the gun was legally
maybe he
purchased
didn't
by the boy's mother
understand
and was brought to school in a backpack, but it's unclear how he got a hold of it.
6 years old.
The chief says
you
it's
know
also
right
unclear
from
if the
wrong,
parents
sort
will face
of,
charges.
but you're
The
still trying to
investigation
figure
continues.
everything
The
out.
teacher, meanwhile,
right?
is in state.
So I give the boy a little bit of credit as far as maybe he couldn't form the intent or the degree of intent that would be necessary to constitute a criminal act. It's still a criminal act, but how do you prosecute a 6-year-old boy? Where do you even put him? They put him in custody. What'd they do? I mean, did people jump on him and wrestle this gun away? And, you know, I was just listening to the news where it said, yeah, we had a bunch of heroes down here. What are you talking about? It's a 6-year-old boy. Somebody should have snatched that gun away from him. He never should have been able to get to that gun in the first place. But he did, and he pulled it out, pointed at the teacher, and shot, pulled the trigger. It hit her in her shoulder, upper chest, shoulder. Bad area to get hit in. She tried to block it with her hand. She threw her hand up and it went through her hand, I guess. So this is a tragic tale. And I'm going to look at it this way. I'm going to say that these school shootings are always in the news. I'm going to say that this was not the norm. This was an aberrant act. It was, it's just not the norm for a 6-year-old to do something like this. So this is kind of a one-off. I don't see that there's a whole pattern of 6-year-olds bringing guns to school that's going to develop. But what do you do with a 6-year-old? Do you prosecute him for shooting the teacher? See, this is a real conundrum. What do you do with a 6-year-old? I mean, it's new territory. Do you put him in handcuffs? I think they did. Put him in the back of the patrol car? I think they did. Take him down and book him at the local jail? I think they did. Fingerprints and everything, probably. DNA sample. Mugshot of a 6-year-old, right? And where do you put him? You put him in a cage? I don't know. My prediction is that more reasonable heads will prevail, and that those in authority in Newport News will look at this as being some kind of a aberrant behavior, meaning that it's a one-off, that it doesn't, that it's just, it's just an odd thing that happened for whatever reason. I predict that the parents will be prosecuted, either one or both of them will be prosecuted for allowing that kid to get a loaded handgun. Think how dangerous that was. He could have pulled it out on the bus, he could have shot the bus driver, the bus goes off a cliff or off the road. I mean, a bus full of kids going off, a steep embankment. This was pretty dangerous. And the kid's gonna need a lot of help, because this is gonna hang with him for the rest of his life. And he needs some strong counseling, some intervention by knowledgeable psychiatrists and psychologists to try to help him work this out and get this behind him. So my prediction is that not much happens to the kid. He'll probably be, I don't know if he'll be put in foster care. He might be released back to the parents. The parents will be prosecuted. One or both of them will probably get a little bit of time, some kind of a fine, probation. They'll mandate mental health treatment for the kid, and they'll keep a very close watch on him for the duration, because everybody's going to be thinking, hey, here's another mass school shooter in the making. So he's already done it once. So they'll be watching him close for the rest of his life. But that's Crime Reports for tonight. I'm Jack Powers. If you liked any of it, please go ahead and reach your finger out right now and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you. I want you to look into joining my membership club, because there you're going to get a lot of really cool programming and content. So I'll see you the next time.
There's always another classroom. There's always another classroom. Mrs. Warren.